Okay folks, this time I'm going to take you through what we call our Key Findings Organiser. Now you will be able to find this document, as we find all documents, on the P drive, and it's in the folio folder. Okay? The Key Findings Organiser is a way of being able to collate all of your information. So what you've done over the course of the last 6 or 8 weeks, after having discussion with me about your big question, what we did hopefully was break that down into 2 or 3 sub-questions. So we have sub-question 1, sub-question 2, and I bet you can't guess what this one's called, sub-question 3. Now they might be called key findings, they might be called, I can't think of the other word, but it'll come to me at some stage. But generally, that's how you break your big question down. So if your big question, if you remember back to my shark example, my shark culling example was about why does the government, or how does the New South Wales and the Western Australian governments compare when it comes to shark culling. So one of the things that I would have had in my sub-question would be focusing on New South Wales, and the other ones would be focusing on WA, and then it was about public opinion. So that would be how I would break my question down. Hopefully you've already sat with me and done that. If you're not confident in what your broken down question looks like, make some time to come and talk to me so that we can sit down and make sure that you've got that, okay? Your Key Findings Organiser then relates to each of these sub-questions. And as you've been doing your analysis, and if you watched the last video, we spoke about how you do all of your analysis and collect all of your research, the different methods that you use to do that. So using those CRAP tests, using the KMWL, using the 5 W's and H method, etc. Or the interesting and questions that I need to follow up, taking notes, all of that. You've now got your folder full of your information. What do you do with it? So the Key Findings Organiser is a document that looks, again, it's just a simple table. It's got your key finding across the top, so it might be sub-question 1. It then has in a space to put in reference and dot points of information. Reference and dot points of information. Reference and dot points of information. So in your folder, you've been through, you've done your analysis. What your folder might look like is a collection of, say, 20 different documents. Now, not all of those documents are going to relate to all 3 of those sub-questions. Some of them are only going to talk to one of them. Some of them might talk to 2 of them, some of them might talk to 3 of them. Some of them might not be useful and relevant, and you might not end up using them in your final outcome at all. However, what you might find is that it becomes overwhelming in thinking about, well, how do I now write 2,000 words when I've got all of these documents and all of this information? So what we want to do is start organising this using this type of format. And having a look back through your folder, you might go, okay, New South Wales, so this is any information based on New South Wales in my Key Findings Organiser. The first document that I've got over here that relates to that is this one. And I put the reference details of document 7 in over here, and having a look at document 7 and my analysis from it, these are the really key points that I want to make sure I get in my outcome. So that might be a quote that you find, it might be a particular piece of information, it might be something that talks about how the New South Wales government uses drum lines and not tagging testing, I don't know, whatever it happens to be. Okay, having a look through your folder, you might also then find that document number 12 also talks about New South Wales. So you'll put your reference in here for document 12 so that you can find it. And then when you're writing your outcome, you've got all those details ready to be able to do your referencing then and there. So then we write in the details and the dot points that we want to use from document 12, and it might be document 13. Now you might have one page with 3 different things on it. You might end up with 2 or 3 pages, and you might have 6 or 7 different references for Key Finding 1. You might have 18 references for Key Finding 1. You might have 2 documents that tell you very much the same thing. And if that's the case, then you can substantiate your information by putting them in together. And when it comes to referencing, you include both of those references in your document when you're Harvard referencing. Okay, so that is the first part of your Key Findings Organiser. So that's for sub-question 1. You will then come up with a second set of, or a second sheet of the Key Findings Organiser for sub-question 2. And this is the one that's focused on, for my topic, WA. And here's your reference details for the next document, and the next document, and the next document. One of the real advantages of using this type of system for organising your information is that when it comes to writing your outcome, all you need to do is pull out these couple of pages. You don't need to look at these again. You've got everything that you want to include here. So if you're writing the first 500 words on sub-question 1, all of the information that you need is here. You can work out that these are going to be my paragraphs. You can swap the order of them. You might go, well, you know what, this is actually going to be paragraph 1. This is going to be paragraph 2. This is going to be paragraph 3. All of the information that you need is there. And because you've only got dot points and because you've only got the quotes and things that you want to use, you're not going to be cut and pasting, and the issue of plagiarism is then not as big a deal to have to deal with. Okay? It will force you to write in your own words the information that you want to include. So again, I keep organising my information using this system, putting my references in. I can't remember what I did now, 15 and 8. Okay, key finding 2. And guess what you do for the last one? One more Key Finding Organiser document, and this time it is sub-question 3, and any of the articles that need to go into sub-question 3 or that relate to sub-question 3. And again, as I said, you can reuse them. So if Article 12 is also relevant for public opinion, then I can put the quotes and things in there. These then, as I said, become your working document for writing up of your outcome. I hope that makes some kind of sense. Now, if you want to see an example of this, I've got a Key Findings document set up as a template in the public drive for you to have a look at. There is also an example set up again from my shark culling question that I had that has some of the information and the types of level of information that I would put into it. This also then becomes a possibility for those all-important folio pages, and it's a really good one because it helps demonstrate your ability to synthesize information, to sort information, and it demonstrates also that you are not just cutting and pasting from the big documents that you have looked at and analysed. Okay, so I hope that all makes some kind of sense and is a little bit helpful in where to next. You should be aiming to have your Key Findings Organisers ready to go to start the writing up of your outcome probably by about week 6 or 7 of this term, which means that if you are behind, you've got a couple of weeks to catch up. We haven't spoken about the use of primary source information in here, but same deal. If you've got surveys or interviews or even things like blogs and documentaries that you found online, you can include those in here as well in exactly the same way. Okay, any questions? Shoot me an email and I will try and get back to you as quickly as possible. Okay, good luck. Bye.